If you are fortunate enough to get a chance to go and see Chatsworth House in real life, you really have a kind of modern day Alice in Wonderland experience. You are going through rolling, beautiful green hills in England, and then past sheep, past open pastures, and then out of, almost like a storybook, you see this structure rise up. And it's an extraordinary sight to be seen, and the grounds are so perfectly and beautifully manicured and curated. But what's interesting is once you sort of set foot inside the house, there's a real warmth and a humanity to the structure. What seems like might be an austere, stoic experience actually proves itself to be a beautiful and warm, welcoming experience because it is a home. I mean, there are people that work there and live there. And it is not a museum. It's a place where people live. My name is David Korins, and I am the creative director for the Chatsworth experience at Sotheby's. This is the second collaboration that I've done with Sotheby's. I was honored to be the creative director for Americana Week in 2016, and I'm very excited to be back collaborating with the folks at Sotheby's. In the Chatsworth exhibition, we are trying to bring what is perhaps one of the most extraordinary art collections in the world to New York City. The challenge was a great one. I was privileged enough to be a guest of the Duke and Duchess at the Chatsworth House, walking through the rooms of the home and spending time in their quite expansive grounds, trying to understand what is in the DNA of the house, knowing full well that my task would be to essentially deliver some version of the experience of being a visitor there to the patrons and the guests in New York City. I got up very early one morning and just let the environment wash over me. And I had a kind of light bulb moment. My eye wandered across legs of tables, feet of chairs, corners of molding, how ceilings met walls, and I was really struck by just the incredible detail. Things that had been carved, handmade, sculpted over generations and generations and generations, and each one of those tiny details really told a story. I thought, what if I could, instead of delivering a huge swath of the environment, bring our journey closer and more specifically down to the littlest, most incredible detail that you might not get if you were just kind of moving through these rooms one at a time. There's been generation after generation of dukes who have lived there. And it's interesting when you think about each duke's addition to the collection, everyone was collecting sort of modern art and art of a certain time period for themselves. Over the course of hundreds of years, each one of the pieces has become something that feels timelessly added to the collection. The Chatsworth experience that we're trying to deliver really looks at what it means to be a great collector over time. To be able to take one of the world's greatest art collections and kind of infuse it into the 275th anniversary of Sotheby's is an unbelievable honor. You could walk through those spaces with no pieces of art in it, and it's a wow. To be able to put some of the world's best art inside these new state-of-the-art galleries is a dream come true for me.